Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, today we are going to look into SQF Lite. Okay, so like yesterday we have looked at shade preferences, where I have shown you how to store some small key values and then use them in your program. Okay, so today we are going to look at SQF Lite. So SQF is a Flutter version of SQLite. Okay, so you might have heard or not heard about SQLite. SQLite is a mobile database. Mobile database in the sense the database will be actually created on your mobile wherever your app is residing. Okay, so like it will not stay on some server. Usually, when you take some databases, they are supposed to be sitting on some server. Okay, so and you have to remotely connect to them, like using web apis or like possibly using the web apis, or like if the framework itself is providing some sort of ways, you have to use such ways to connect to the database. Whereas when it comes to SQF Lite, you don't have to connect to it remotely. Okay, because they sit locally on the mobile phone. Okay, so in case if your app needs some database which has to sit on the mobile phone, and and it's not a centralized database, you can use SQF Lite. Okay, so let's see how we can use that in our Flutter app. Okay, so I will start creating a Flutter project which will use SQF Lite, and then we will see some operations. Okay, so before going ahead, what I want to share is when it comes to database, right? Okay, so whatever database you want to explore. Okay, so like using a front end, like if you are developing a website and if you want to understand how database stuff works from website point of view or a mobile point of view, the things you need to do is you need to perform these crude operations. Okay, create, read, update and delete. Okay, so once you are aware of how to do all these four operations, then everything else will be pretty much easier. Okay, so when it comes to RTBMS, there might be like few more things which you might need to try. For example, executing a procedure. Okay, such kind of things also you have to do. But like to begin with, you always have to do CRUD operations. Okay, four operations: create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so as part of SQF Lite, we are going to we are going to do all these four operations in our examples. So in order to demonstrate it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an app. Okay, a to-do app. Okay, so like you might have seen so many apps where uh, where we keep track of things to do, right? So I'm going to create a simple to-do app using SQLite database. Okay, the reason why I took this example is I don't want my task to be synced to a centralized database. Okay, I want them to stay locally, and then if the app is uninstalled, they should go away. Okay, I'm not bothered about it, like what user wants to do. So I am using SQLite. Okay, so let me create a project. Let me open the emulator. it's working now. Okay, so I will remove everything from here, and then like, so we have decided to do a to do app. So before doing anything, what I will do is I'll just write a very simple code in main.file to check whether the Flutter framework is running fine or not. Okay, so I'm just loading it to see whether my framework, my Flutter setup, emulator, everything is working fine on. Because I don't want to hit issues as I write. Like, if I wrote more code and try to execute my app, and then if I end up with some error, and if in case if that error is due to the Flutter framework, then I really don't know like what I meant. Like, we might have such kind of confusion. What is this issue? Okay, so in order to avoid such kind of things, I'm doing this stuff. So I need to give text direction because I'm not using Material App. Okay. So it's working fine. So there are no issues with the Flutter SDK. So if I want to use SQLite on my project, you have to go to perfect.yaml, and then you have to add the SQLite package over here. Okay, so you can actually go to pub.dev and also get it from there. Okay, SQF. So this is the one. So whenever you're searching for some packages, you might see a lot of other things, like other common things as well. But as part of our example, I'm using SQLite because it's a Flutter favorite. Okay, and then like as per the Flutter documentation, like they too have used the same stuff, so we are going to use the same thing. So if you feel like other things are working, like you are good to go with them. Okay, like, but anyways, when you are using a new package that will have a new syntax, okay, they like, for example, someone might have felt like there is some problem with this SQLite package, in the way it is syntaxed. Okay, they might have not liked it, and then they went ahead and then created some other package on top of it. Okay, so but that's fine. But this is the one what we are going to understand about. As long as this works for you, you can always go ahead with this. Okay, if you want to solve any particular problem for your own purpose, you really don't have to go with other package. You can expand this package within your project. Okay, and then use it. So this is the package I'm going to use, SQLite, and then save it. So as soon as I save it, you can see that pub.get is like pubget is has run and everything is working fine now. So I'm just rerunning my app. So everything is good. So I'll go to main.file. Okay. So like what I'm going to do is, whenever I want to deal with databases. Okay. So whenever I want to deal with databases, the first thing what I need to do is I have to picture myself like what is the table structure, and like what are the fields I required. Okay, such kind of things you need to picture. Okay, so generally databases will have tables. Okay, in the same way we have in SQLite also we have tables within the database. Okay, so we have to think about what columns we need, and then first of all what we'll do is we'll try to create some user interface for it, and then we'll try to integrate the SQF Lite code for it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to Material Lab, change this to home, scaffold, and then let me add app bar also. Title, to do app to demo app, and then let me remove this column children, list of. Sorry. I really don't need this column. Let me remove this. And then you can see there is a simple list view. So what I will do now is I will move this list style code. Okay, for example, there are some items like this. I want to watch a movie. I want to play cricket. I want to play games. Okay, so basically in the user interface what we have got is we have got a list of items to do. Okay, let me add one action item also here, actions, icon button. So we'll add some logic here to add the items. So, and on the other side, whenever these items are selected, what we will do is it will take to a new page, and then it will ask you to update or delete also. Okay, so you can do like this. So we like here we have to take to a update or delete page. Okay, so here we will take to a update or delete page. So what I will do now is let me remove these two items. Let me create a list. Okay, list of strings. Okay, to do items. I want to watch a movie. I want to play cricket. I want to play games. Okay, now I have a list of items. Okay, so now I want to see, like, the reason why I'm using some list of items is I want to have some proper template which will loop through some list of items and then give the output. So once I have a proper code which actually loops, once I introduce the database concept, all I need to do is I just want to remove this stuff and replace that with the database stuff. Okay, and all the calling and processing will be done separately, and UI can just use it directly. Okay, so here I have this item. So I need to modify this list view. Okay, so I'll just comment it on list view dot. Okay, I am going to use list view builder. So which can you index return list type. To do items of index. So now we are getting some error. That's because we have to specify the items count. Okay, to do items length. This is how we can get the length. Okay, length of the list. So I can remove this code now. Let me format it nicely by adding some commas. Actually, like, what I have observed is many feel like adding these commas is very odd. Okay, but when you add these commas, the code will be formatted very nicely. Okay, so for example, if I add some comma over here, you can see that it is broken very nicely. Okay, everything moves to new line very nicely. Okay, so now it looks very good. So now I have a list of items populated from this now what populated from this list. Okay, now what I will do is I will introduce the database concept, like SQLite database concept, to this app and replace this stuff. Okay, rather than getting these items from a list. Okay, I will get it from the table. Okay, so before that, what I need to do is I need to have some interface to add the items. So let me add some code over here. Okay, so I need to add some item here. Add new items from here. Okay, so I need to add some items over here. So obviously I have to, like, whenever this button is clicked, I have to take them to a new page. Okay, so like, let me add a new file over here. Add new item dot dot. Okay, so I'm going to create a widget which will add new items. Okay, so I'm going to create a template initially. Later only, once the template part is created, I will try to integrate that to the SQLite database. Okay, add new item, and then I'll fix the issues. So let me not use material app here. I will use scaffold. Okay, let me show you what is the problem if we get if you use material app here. Okay, Okay, so we need to use text form field, not text field. Okay, so we have some text form field, and then we have a button to add it. Okay, so in order to, like, we need, like, whenever we are using text form field, we need to add a controller to it. Okay, because somewhere over in on press we have to use something like this: text form field one dot text, something like that we have to use, right? So in order to make it work, we need to add a controller. Okay, so controller is like we are giving a name to it. Okay, controller, mm, to do item text. Okay, to do item text, and then I will create a field for it. It will be of text controller, text editing controller. Okay, I need to make it fine. So all looks good. Now I will be able to access something like this. Okay, so I can get text like this. So let me print it here to see how it works. So now I need to call this add new item from the main.dart file. So I'm going there, and then I'm going to add navigation to it. Navigator dot navigate. Push off. Okay, for root we have to use material app. Meti page root. Okay, and then add new item. So I need to add return over here, and then add the necessary, import the necessary. Okay, so now at this point, if the plus button is clicked, it should go to the new page, but looks like there is an issue. Okay, so let me reload it properly and then see if it works. So, like, let me reload it from the scratch and see what happens. Actually, I'm expecting this code to work properly without any issues. That's why I want to rerun. Okay, still some issues there. Let me cross check it. So it says that the context used to push or pop routes from the navigator must be that of a widget that is descendant of a navigator widget. Okay, so the reason is we have not hierarchically framed these widgets properly. Okay, so let me go to add new item, remove this material from here, and just use this scaffold, and then see if that fixes the issue first of all. Okay, still this is not fixed. Okay, so let me move this material app to my app. Let me add a comma over here. And then see if it fixes the issue. Let me remove this material from here. Now we are having an error. Let me fix this issue. Okay, so it's gone. Actually, like it's just a matter of refresh. And now if I click this plus button, you can see that it is going to a new page. Okay, so let me add some proper design to this add new item. Let me add a nav bar. Okay, let me add some padding also here, maybe. So okay, so whatever we are going to type here is going, like, and we are going to type something over here and just click on add, and then it's going to pick it up. Okay, I want to watch Netflix, and then just click on add, and you can see that the text is now being captured. All I have to do is I have to pass this text to a database. Okay, so like let me create one more page as part of UI. Whenever this item is selected, I want it to go to a new page where the item will be shown, as well as update and delete buttons are shown. Okay, so I'm going to add a new file over here, update. Okay, item detail. Okay, dot dot. To do item detail. So we are showing the details of the to do item. So I named it accordingly. So again, scaffold, body, column of children, ABBA, title, to do item detail. Okay, and then children, we have to add text. So like usually this has to be selected text. Okay, and then we are going to add two buttons. Let me add a button bar. Okay, Okay, we are going to have one button for update and another one for delete. So whenever this is clicked, we need to load that item. Okay, like let me add some text here. Dollar to do description. So I just have to create a field and it will be a fine. And then necessary construct. So all good. So now I just have to link with this item. Okay. So whenever on tap is done, to item detail of okay, let me go here. So now whenever I click on this item, it should go to new page, but it's not going. Let me check why it's not going. Yeah, possibly a reload will do the trick. Okay, so okay, I got it. Why, like, we haven't actually put the navigator here. So let me comment this on tab navigator dot push material page root and then context to do item detail to description to do items of this. Okay, so let me toggle wrap wood wrap. Okay, so that all the code will be visible. So now it should work. Let's see if it works or not. So whenever a new item is clicked, you can see it takes me to a new page. Okay, I want to watch a movie. You can say I want to watch it. Like let's make it slightly nicer by adding some padding. Okay, and then like the problem with button bar is it will not align properly. Okay, it's a main axis alignment. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, so let me move left. Okay. Okay, so this is the item that has been selected. So all looks good. So now, and one more thing, what I have to do is, whenever the update button is clicked, I have to take to update page. Okay. So for that, I have to create something similar to add new item. So let me just copy paste it and then just make it update new item. I change the class update. Okay, update new item. So make it a saved. Okay, and then I also want have to whenever the update button is clicked, I obviously have to show the text here, right? So like first of all, let me map it, let me map to main dot file, like no item dot detail. So whenever this is clicked, I have to go to update dot new item, right? So let me just take this code from here. Okay. Yeah. Let me take this code from here. Item.detail. Okay, so I'm just reusing the same code. Okay, so whenever I item is clicked, whenever update is clicked, it is taking to a new page. But the thing here is we don't have the text here. Like whenever I want to update, some text have to appear over here, right? Like the same text I want to watch a movie should appear over here. For that, what I will do is I'll go to update new item. Okay, and then I will change this to, like, while this page itself is being loaded, I have to load some values. So we can achieve it like this. Okay. So like for example, if I go here and check for init class, initializing class, it is not there. Okay. So I have to go to status widget, change that to stateful widget, and come here. So I can actually initialize it. Okay, so I can do something like this. To do item text is equal to whatever text I want, I can actually initialize here. Okay, so but right now this class is not capable of taking any text. Okay, so let me add some text here. So final to do item description, and then add colon. So resolve this issue, we'll add a constructor. Okay, so we have added this constructor. As soon as I added a constructor, you can see this started failing. Okay, there is an error. Let's resolve it. So we need to, because this is the class which we are going to call from the other files, right? So we have to add the description over here. Okay, and then necessary constructors over there as well. So we just have to pass it over here. So all good, like, so this message will be passed from this class to this class, and we will be able to use it for this. Okay, so we have to actually assign it over here, right? So to do description. Okay, I think now it will work fine. Okay, so let's see whether it works or not. Yeah, I think the reason why it's not working is we have to pass it over here. Okay, so we have to pass it over here. So as an optional parameter. Okay. So now you can see that whenever I click here, it is showing here. So let me change this add new item to save update item. Okay. So now we have actually finished the whole UI part. Okay. So like this UI is capable of listing something as a list. Like if you have a list of items, it is capable of showing them as a list. If you want to add a new item, you can add the item over here and then click on add button. And then if you want to edit, you can just go here, click on update and do the update. And if you want to delete, just click the delete button, which will be deleted. Okay, so now we have to integrate this example with the SQF Lite. Okay, so as I said, we are going to get rid of this part of code, and then get SQF Lite added. Okay, so how we do that is, so first of all, let's get rid of this. So the first thing what you have to do is you have to open the database. Okay, so in order to open a database, see, like SQLite, right? When the app is initially opened, the database is not existing, right? But in subsequent opens, the database already exists. Okay, so whenever you want to, like, you want to include SQLite into your app, you need to ensure that you need to create the database. The first thing what you have to do is you have to create the database. Okay, in SQLite, how we do that is, like, let me create a separate function for it. Okay, so I'm going to add open database of. Okay, and then actually create a function for this. Okay, sorry. Okay, I think, so let me open the database. Okay, so here I'm going to add some code which will actually open the database. Okay, so final database is equal to open database of. So the only column we are going to have in our example is description, which will be of text type. Okay, so if I like, so this is the syntax for opening the database. Like, if we go through this, we are actually instructing our app to open a database in this path. Okay, so this get database path will fetches a path where the app is supposed to create the databases, and then we are going to combine with this path, and then we are going to try to open this database. And then this, I'll come back to this version again. On, like, when you are creating it for the first time, this is something which will be executed. Okay, so and then we also maintain version. For just imagine you want to modify the actual table. Okay, so if you want to add some more columns to this table, you have to change the version and then make changes. Whenever you change the version, this on create will be executed again. Okay, so there are number of other things also which you can figure out yourself, like on create, on update, such kind of things are there. Okay, so if I hover my mouse, so what is the error? Okay, so this is not okay. I'm using await keyword here, so I have to use async. Okay, it is gone, but join is not gone, right? Okay, so in order to use join, I have to import the correct library. The library for join is, see, unfortunately, like there is no direct way of fixing these issues. Like for example, when I try to check for recommendation, it didn't show me exact fix for it. Okay, but when it comes to databases, once you write the code, you can always reuse it. Okay, so this kind of things are fine. Okay, for especially for when you are writing database connected databases, you write all the necessary functions and then continuously reuse it. Okay, like you'll not always continuously update those files. Okay, once if it is working, you will leave it as it is. Okay, if you want to make some amendments, you'll continue to expand those stuff rather than making changes to existing code unless until they are bugs. Okay, so even though what I mean is, even though uh, there are no proper recommendations of fixing this issue, but it's okay. Okay, sometimes it's okay, we have to follow that. Okay, so now we have a database which is created. Okay, and then we have to return the database. We are going to use this database wherever we want to use it. So now when this main is executed, our database is actually opened. Okay, open means our database, if it doesn't exist, it will be created. If it is already created, it won't do anything. Okay, so now this is the code for opening a database. Now we need to go here. Like we are going to populate a list of items, right? So like let's do it. Okay, so in order to read the list of items, okay, so we need to read this table, and then we are going to add some items over here. Okay, so let me not run this code first. Okay, let me comment it out. I'll add some dummy body. Okay, because when the table is actually created, it will have empty rows, right? So okay, empty rows, and then what I have to do is I have to insert something. So first of all, like let me add a code for adding new items. Okay, so I'll go here. So what I can do is, like rather than having all this code in the same file, I'll create a new file. Okay, sqf lib operations, and then I will actually move this code over there. So whatever I'm going to use for my data, let's see if this join gets fixed. Okay, it's not, still not here. So as I know, I'm going to use it. So I'm not using escape flag. Okay, so now everything is working as usual. Okay, no issues. Whenever I refresh it, okay, so like when I refresh it, you can see that there is some error. Okay, what it says is unhandled exception, something was accessed before binding was initialized. Okay, if you see this error, if you read carefully, what they say is, if you are running an application need to access binary messenger before run app of has been called, okay, then you need to explicitly call widget flutter binding ensure initialize. Okay, what it says is, if you want to run some code before run app, okay, you have to run this widgets flutter binding ensure initialize. Okay, so you have to run it. Like you can actually, like maybe you can add that as a practice for all your app, but anyways the error message is very much clear to add that code. So I have done it. Now if I refresh it, everything will work fine. So if I am, for example, if I am opening database somewhere within the other code, then this is not required, because run app probably is calling this line of code somewhere within it. Okay, and then if I open a database without this part of code also, it will work if I'm doing it somewhere else. Okay, but not in the main before run app. If I'm trying to open a database before run app, you have to add this code. Okay, so and then it will actually call necessary code that is required for database to be up and running. It's not specifically related to database. Okay, it might, this kind of code might be required for other things also if you are running something for run app. But anyways, we have a proper recommendation of what code we need to execute, which made things easy. Okay, now it's fine. Now whenever this add button is called, we have to, I need to add some code for add. Okay, add new item. So I will go here and I will add code for like inserting a new item. Okay, so for that what I'm going to do is insert to do item of, so if you see, if you observe carefully, so whenever you are trying to insert something inside a database, trying to fetch it back, okay, so we need to create an model for the same structure. So here we have a to do item which has a description text. So what I need to do is I need to have a class for to do items, and then it need to have some like some properties as this description. If I'm having three columns, like three columns in the table, I need to have three properties in that class, and then I need to have some helper functions to process the data. Okay, for that what I will do is I will like I will create a class first. Okay, so let me go here. So this is common for all database operations. Like whenever you are trying to do some database operations, I think this is the approach you have to follow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to do dot dot, and then I'm going to create a class. And then it's going to have description. Okay, so like let me match that with this description. Okay, it is fine. And then I'm going to create necessary constructors. So now I have a class. So what I will do is I will go to this SQLite operations, and then I'm going to first of all call this open database and then insert the item. Okay, how I open the database is so the reason why we add await, right? Like because these operations will take some time, and you don't want your app to be like freeze. Okay, you don't want your app to freeze when some operation is happening, right? So it's best to add await and async over there. Okay, and then now I'm going to go here db dot insert. Again, see, if you see here, when I'm accessing db, I'm not getting the necessary code sections. Okay, but as I said, you will always reuse this code. Once you have the code, you never have to like bother about what's there in the code. You just call those functions. Okay, set off. So I have to give the table name over here. Even if I hover my mouse, it's not showing anything. Like but I can go to definition. If I like, I can go to this definition and try to get code from, like, by verifying the code here. Okay, but anyways, I have the, like, I have already done that homework, so I'm just going to use the table, and then like let me show you. Okay, let me show you. Okay, SQLite, and then I have to find the necessary update from here. Okay, so if I scroll down here, let's see, if you see, we have a open database takes path. Okay, and there are other things also, version, on create, on upgrade, on downgrade is there, Okay, if I scroll down, so so here you can see get database path is there. Okay, but update is not here. Okay, let me go in like slightly in depth. So probably conflict algorithm. Yeah, let's see if we can find some more things over here. So you can see execute over here. Okay, so insert. Okay, so right now we are going to use insert, right? If you take insert, it needs a table and then map string of dynamic values. Okay, like I'll come to this part, and then there are some optional parameters also. Okay, so like our optional parameters, we are not much bothered about it. Okay, so whatever required we have to give it. In case if you want extra functionality, you always have to give the optional parameters. Okay, so let me go here. Now I need to give some values, right? So like I need to give some values. So like how we give that value? So like for example, I can go here. Let me take, like whenever I'm inserting item, I have to take that item, right? So I just pass the to do item. Okay, so I'll make this class accessible here, and I have to do something like that, convert to table values. Okay, like I want to do something like this, convert to table values, because convert to table values, like actually if you go to this class, okay, if you go to this class, we don't have that function available. Like we have a class. Okay, when the object is created, we have objects, but it's not of this type, map string dynamic values. So what we have to do is we have to create a method for it. So like let me create that method. I will go here. Okay, and then so when like for this method, what I need to do is I'm going to return this map string dynamic values. Okay, so and then I'm going to map the values. If I go to .lang.org, okay, and then try to understand what does it mean. Like, okay, let me go to docs, probably language tool. Okay, let me search for maps. Okay, if you see maps, maps have to be something like this. Okay, so let me return my class objects in this format. Okay, so return description. It has to be description, and then the description, actual description. Okay, description from the class. So if I want to, like if I want to add more things like this, what I can do is if I'm having more than one column here, I just have to keep adding commas and then keep adding like this. Okay, so for a given class, for the object created, it will return the map values, which can use which you can use to insert them into the table. Okay, so if you go here now, this issue is resolved. So whenever you try to insert an item, this will be called. Okay, so let's go to the app now, and just click a button over here. So I want to play football. Okay, and then click on the add item. Okay, something happened now, but we haven't added any functionality, but no errors, which is very good. Okay, so I want to play football is probably inserted inside this table. Now what I'll do is I'll go to main.dot file, I'll remove this temporary code, and then I will try to fix this code. Okay, so like actually when it comes to reading tables, reading database, again like we have to it is something, when you try to read something, what will it will take some time. Okay, it is something that tries to happen in the future. Okay, here we actually have to use a future builder. So let's see how you can use it. Okay, so I'm going to give a body again. I'm going to give a future builder. And then try to resolve this issue. It requires a builder. Returns. Okay, returns a list view builder. Okay, we'll come to this part, right? Okay, yeah, probably it will be snapshot dot data dot length, snapshot dot data of index. So when this is executed, your snapshot will have the data. Okay, okay, like I need to fix some code over here, so which will be probably description. And then I have to pass from where it has to render. Okay, what is the future value? It will be the to do items, right? Okay, list of to do items. So list of to do items. But I need, like, somewhere I have to populate this list of to do items. Okay, what I need to do is, like, before the actual page itself loads, I have to do that, right? So I need to do something in the initializing, like before the screen is loaded itself. I have to do that. Okay, for that I have to change this to stateful widget. Okay, this is not going, like the code generation is not working fine. Okay, so now all looks good. So I need to use init state of. Okay, so here I am going to actually initialize this, like assign some values to list of to do items. Okay, so here I am going to read database. Okay, so I'm going to do some read database over here, but we don't have read database itself ready yet, so I'll go to SQL fight operations. Okay, read database. Okay, like read to do items. Let me give a proper name. So I'll just correct it over here. So I need to declare this as well. Okay, it will be list of to do. So I need to import this one. So here I have to access the database first of all, fix this await issue, and then I have to read that values. Okay, so like here if you go, I need to return a list of to do items. Okay, So I'll just go here. I will ensure I need to return a list of to do items. Again, like it will be a future, okay, because it is of ASIC. Okay, I need to add future as well. So I'll go here. So if I go to this open database definition, okay, not okay. Let me go to SQLite file, and then we have to find the query function. Okay, like we have a query function. If you okay, so this is the function. This is the method what you are going to use to fetch the table. If you go here, it returns future list of map string dynamic. Okay, but here you have to return the future list of do. So for that we need to create some another variable which is of this type. Okay, so let me take this part from here and then put it like this. Okay, to do list values is equal to await. We need to await, right? db dot query of to do items. So now probably we'll have all the items in this in this place. Now we need to move this back to list of to do. Okay, how we do that is, okay, we need to return that as a list of to do values, right? So how we can do that is we can use list dot generate. Okay, list dot generate dot length. Again, like anyways, this is also a list, right? We just have to reformat it in the form of to do. Okay, list of to do. Okay, so I'll go here, to do of, so I need to initialize them. If I go to this class, it needs a description, right? I can do like to do list values of index of. Okay, so like this I can do. So like for example, if you are having more columns, you have to give comma and then you have to specify. Okay, like in order to make things much more better, what I can do is I can just go here and make it an optional parameter which helps me to improve the syntax much better. Okay, so I can give something like this, which will be like much better to like read. Okay, so this is done now. Okay, so I have generated now like this function will actually return list of to do items by actually querying this table. Okay, when I go to main.dot file, you can see it is not accessible. Let me see why. So this is actually returning a future of items. Okay, so I have to change this to future. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, so now I think it should work. Let's see how it goes. There is some error somewhere. Okay, so I messed up with brackets. Let me. So let me remove this code. Yep. Now it started out. Just me reload it. Okay, we have some errors. Let's see what's okay. Length was called on null. Okay, so this length. So let me stop this and rerun it again. Yeah, I think okay. So the I got the error. Okay, so like what happens is whenever you are using Future Builder, you need to ensure that if like whether snapshot has got the data or not. Okay, so I'll go here. If snapshot dot has data, okay, if it hasn't got any data, I will return the circular progress indicator. Okay, so now let's see how it works. So now at least the errors are gone. Let me go here and add some items. Let's play Minecraft. And then you go back. Okay, you reload the app and see if it populates the data. Okay, so it hasn't loaded, but okay, let me check what is the issue. So what I will do is I will just add a print statement over here, and then to do. So let me debug this. Okay, like now, because it's not running, we have to debug it, right? So I will debug it and see if what, like, whether the values are being passed correctly or not. Okay. So okay, so whenever the reading is happening, you can see it's like the list is empty. Okay, probably the inserts are not happening at all. Okay, so insert to do items. So we need to debug these insert items and see if it is working fine or not. Okay. So before that itself, like, let me check whether the uh, actual database exists or not. Okay. So I can do that using this part of code. So once this is actually run, right? So I can just go here. Okay. Import the necessary statements to do items take. I'm just checking whether this database itself exists or not. Okay, so I'm just reloading it, and then it says true. Okay, which means that database exists. Okay, so let me comment this now. So the problem will be probably with the insert to do items. Okay, so let me see if let me see if we can debug it. Okay, so whenever new item is insert, so it is inserted. Okay, since we are debugging it, like, I think I can just click here, uh, read books, and then click add. Okay, it is not throwing any error. Okay, once I go back, reload it, yeah, nothing comes up. Yeah. So, let's see what's there inside this now. Okay, this gives me a feeling that whether this code is called or not, add a new item. Okay, so we are not calling that part of coding. Okay, so that is the issue. So all you have to do is, okay, you have to create a to do object. Okay, to do is equal to do of. Okay, so I usually convert this to string as well, just in case. Okay, and then access these two operations, and then pass this to do over here. So now, like now it should work. Let me refresh it, go back to add button. Let's watch IPL. Okay, and then you can see that some code is processed. I'll go back. Okay, here it is not showing it. I'll just refresh it to see if it populates. So now, like, I got a different error. Probably like something is being processed, and to do is not a subtype of type string. Okay, so I need to go to the home page. Okay, and then I have to see what is there. Okay, to do is not a substring of types. Okay, let's see if this is the issue. Not this one. Yeah, here I have to give the dot description, and then you can see it has started showing the items. Okay, let me go add one more thing, read books. Okay, I have added the item, and if I go back and refresh it, you can see there are two items. Okay, so now we are like, there are two things which we are able to do. Okay, one is reading from the list, and then we are able to insert. Okay, so if you go to update item, like you need to have another update function. Let me add that here now. Update to do item. Okay, it will be almost like very much similar to this. So I just copy paste here. Instead of insert, we have to call the update. Okay, so and then we need to, like, if you go to update, let's see where is the update needs something like where args. Okay, so we need to pass them where args, and like we have some more options like conflict algorithm. Okay, optional specifies algorithm to use in case of conflict. Okay, in case of, if you're using this conflict algorithm within, like when you are actually declaring it, if you specify that conflict algorithm, it will automatically update. Okay, here we are not using conflict algorithm, where we have to use the where stuff. Okay, how we do that is where id is equal to question mark, and then where args is equal to do dot description. Okay, so let's see if this update works now or not. I need to call that, right? I need to call it from update item. Okay, again we have to do something similar to this. So let's see if it works or not. So I just want to go here, read Harry Potter books. Okay, and I'll save it. Okay, something has happened now. Let me go back and then just refresh it to see. Okay, anyways, okay, it has created a new entry. Okay, let's check whether what statement. Okay, I'm calling insert to do item. Let's see. Okay, let's see now. Let's go to so there is some error message now. Okay, like let's see, there is no such column as id. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I have to give description over here because there is no column, right? There is no column like description. So let's see how it works now. So it's taking time to perform a hot restart. So let me stop it and then reload it again. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Let's see if it works or not. Okay. Okay, it hasn't worked. The reason why it didn't work is actually we are comparing with the new value here. Okay, so we need to compare that with the old value. So what we need to do is we need to get the old value over here. Okay, so I'm just going here, string old description. Okay, just correct this, and wherever I'm using this update string, I have to get the old description. So old description is probably okay. So within this, so go to like, so I'm just printing those values to see how it goes. Okay, so let's restart. Go here, update books. 1, 2, 3. So now we have old description, which is read books, and new description. Okay, so I just have to add some space. This looks much better now. Okay, so I have to. I'm passing the description over here. I'll go to this operations. So in where description we have to pass the old description. Okay, old description. Okay. So now let's see if it works now or not. I'm just restarting it. Go to read books, update. Like I'm just changing to read old books. Okay, and then save it. So let's go back and then refresh and see if it works or not. So now you can see that new value is reflected. Okay, so now let's implement for delete as well. So for delete, I just have to do the almost same thing. Delete to do item. Okay, so I just have to delete here. I remove this. So let's see what delete needs here. Delete needs a table and a where with where arcs. Okay, so something similar to this. So just copy paste from here. Delete. Okay, so delete needs table and where arcs. Okay, table where description is equal to do dot description. Okay, so wherever I'm going to use it, so I update it, right. Okay, item detail. Here I have this delete button, right. I just have to call this with the to do item. Okay, So here I have got a to-do description. So yeah, just let me pass the to-do description itself. Okay, and then change it slightly to string to do description. Okay, so let me remove this one as well. So let's see if it works now or not. Okay, so there is some error again. I'm just going to import it, reload it. So I don't want to read Harry Potter books now, so I'm just going to delete it. So just click delete and then go back, refresh it, and you can see the item is deleted. Okay, so as part of this example, what we have understood is how to perform read from the table, how to insert new items, how to update the items, and then delete the items. Okay, so we have seen all the CRUD operations. Okay, yep. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.